Let's begin with the latest dump of Epstein documents. Prominent figures who show up in this batch include you-know-who, Elon Musk, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Bill Gates, and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. They all deny wrongdoing or knowledge of crimes, but survivors of Epstein's sex trafficking operation are not happy with how the administration is handling all of this. Take a look.
We just have very little faith in the DOJ at this point. We talked to senators. Please make sure that everybody's redacted. Great, everybody knows. And then it comes out today, and it is just a trove of victims' information. If you're not protecting survivors, then who are you protecting?
This review is over. I mean, we reviewed over 6 million pieces of paper, thousands of videos, tens of thousands of images. There's a lot of horrible photographs that appear to be taken by Mr. Epstein or people around him, but that doesn't allow us necessarily to prosecute somebody.
Come on, y'all. The releasing the Epstein files was a major issue for MAGA voters. Are they gonna be happy with this? Now suddenly we're so tired, we've read so much, and now it's done. We don't want to do anymore.
Well, I can say I'm happy it's released, and I'm not MAGA, but I'm a big, I release every file there is regarding Epstein, and mainly because I know that the names we're seeing, the images, it does not mean people necessarily did anything of criminal activity, but I do think people should have to explain their association. Jeffrey Epstein's lifestyle was not a secret. It was a shared and maybe overlooked inconvenience for some. And this dates back to 2002 when two sisters that were like 14 and 15, I think, were interviewed. A story was squashed, but by 2008, Jeffrey Epstein was registered as a sex offender. And I do think if you're registered as a sex offender, I'd like to know why. You can explain that to me. And then when they go ahead, reporters and high profile people, trust me, they knew these weren't secrets. They not only knew it socially, they knew it because people do their research. And yet they continued to pass that aside. So if people are embarrassed or held to task right now because their names are there and their own emails in their own words are there, they should have to answer for that association. Well, absolutely.
That's where I come down on it. We've been asking for the Epstein files at this table across the country. People wanted to see the files. I want to know now what accountability looks like. What does that look like post the release of these files? You have the president, while he has denied wrongdoing, mentioned 4,500 times, okay? That's a lot. You have Bill Gates mentioned often, Howard Lutnick, formerly Prince Andrew. I don't know what he lost all of his titles. So what is going to happen now? Are there going to be more investigations? Are there going to be any indictments? When the federal government had this information, they passed down a 60-count indictment for review. He was going to be indicted on 60 counts, yet it somehow went away because of Acosta, the U.S. attorney in Florida. So I really want to know now, what are they going to do now that we have this information? And is MAGA now going to just sort of say, okay, we have the information, and the president was mentioned 4,500 times, but now it's over?
And you know what I keep thinking about? Do you remember Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that when she and other Republicans were voting to release and pushing to release these files, Donald Trump actually called her, and what he said to her was, "My friends are going to get hurt." And then you see the names that are released, and you realize, you know, she was probably saying the truth. And now I understand why he would say that. But this is not about his friends getting hurt. It's about the thousands of girls, young girls, that were hurt by Jeffrey Epstein. And it's about, you know, and it just, this is something that should continue to piss us off to no end. Because the only reason that Jeffrey Epstein got away for decades with abusing and assaulting and harassing and causing harm to thousands of young girls is because he was rich and he was powerful and he had a circle of rich and powerful people around him who looked the other way and thought it was no big deal. He was doing this to poor young girls. Well, you know what? Damn them and damn him, and I hope he's burning in hell. And I do agree with you. It is a shame to be associated with a guy who, by the time these emails were going on, you know, they were associating with him. They were visiting him.
He was a
They were
voracious
emailing him.
pedophile.
He was a
one of the
registered
worst
level
of
3 sex offender by 2010. In 2008, to your point, he was already had procured child prostitution and pled guilty to that. But shout out to Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna, who've been fearless in pushing for this on a bipartisan basis. Massie's now facing a primary challenge at the direction of the president because he's been so forceful in this. And Rep. Khanna said the biggest lie is that Epstein and Maxwell were the only abusers.
Right.
We remember hearing Kash Patel say that in a hearing on Capitol Hill. The Deputy Attorney General said something similar this weekend. But Ghislaine Maxwell reportedly claimed in December in a habeas corpus court petition that there were 25 accomplices who reached secret settlements. And in these 3 million documents that we could browse through over the weekend that were released, there are references to rape, underage girls, and torture porn, to name a few things. Those all sound like crimes to me, and that the DOJ is so confident, just having been in office for a year, that there's not a single other crime to prosecute or person to pursue sounds untrue to me. That just that
And
does not happen.
I'm so glad you mentioned. I'm so glad you mentioned Ghislaine Maxwell, because let's not forget that after Todd Blanche went and sat down with her and interviewed her, and she came out and said that Donald Trump was not involved, they changed her to a spa of a prison.
And I just want to say one final thing on the victims. They shouldn't feel ashamed. They should be proud of themselves for what they pulled themselves away for speaking out against some of the most powerful men in the world. The people who should feel ashamed are these men who knew exactly who he was, knew what they were engaging in. There's one individual I'll let you look up, but he's one of the most powerful people on the planet who on Christmas Day wanted to go to Epstein Island. You are sad, you were pathetic, not the women you victimized.
Here's the thing that everybody should take away from this. What that man said was a big middle finger to every woman out there. It was, we don't care. We don't really care what they do to you because we're in charge and we'll make these decisions. Make sure you remember this when it comes to voting. Because, you know, we could go on, you releasing a zillion emails on Friday. You know,
on a Friday.
On Friday. And that's what you're doing. You threw everything out there. So, okay, it's very clear to me that you don't care. That's why you left everybody's name in there. You didn't care enough to redact.
Oh, the victims' names.
The names of you knew you were releasing it. Why did you not redact the victims' names? That is another, to me, that's a middle finger to them. Saying we don't care. We don't care what happens to you. Just remember, when you're voting, who you are voting for and where they stood on this particular issue, as well as everything else that we're dealing with. So, Commerce Department
I mentioned that the president has denied all allegations, but a Commerce Department spokesperson said in a statement that Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick had limited interactions with Epstein in the presence of his wife and has never been accused of wrongdoing.
Oh, okay.
And also a spokesperson for Bill Gates said that the Epstein claims are absurd and completely false. So I want to make sure that I mention that as well.
Well, absolutely. And that's why we have a DOJ and an FBI and all that, to investigate and make sure that their names are cleared.
Right.
You know, that's their job.
They should want an investigation.
What I'm saying is, when you say this is incorrect, you should be happy that somebody is saying, we're gonna clear your name. We're gonna clear your name.
Correct.
That's why we always want people to go to trial. Because everybody says, this is not me. This is not what happened. Well, here's your opportunity. But when they snatch your opportunity to tell your side of the story, they don't do you any justice.